Hello everyone, I'm meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 9 a.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I've got a story to bring you out of Maysville. Those of you watching in southern Jones County should be aware that there will be some water outages in parts of the city today. Maysville officials say parts of the town from Jenkins Avenue to LaRoque Avenue between 4th Street and 7th Street will not have water for part of today, as again crews work to install a new valve and water main. Public Works say they will wait to turn off the water until the last minute after excavation to minimize the outage. Officials say at this time they do not know when the work will be completed. Hopefully it is done sooner versus later, or completed sooner versus later. Now I want to mention what we've got going on between President Trump and President Putin. President Trump again giving the Russian leader 50 days to end the war in Ukraine, otherwise face tariffs and potential further sanctions, as President Trump has agreed to send more weapons to Ukraine. NBC's Alice Barr has more on the latest.
As Russian attacks on Ukraine have only increased, so has President Trump's frustration with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
We want to see it end. And I'm disappointed in President Putin.
Sitting alongside NATO's Secretary General, President Trump announcing plans to rearm Ukraine with billions of dollars worth of weapons, including Patriot air defense systems made in the U.S. and sold to NATO allies in Europe to then hand over to Ukraine.
We're going to make top-of-the-line weapons, and they'll be sent to NATO. We're going to have some come very soon, within days, actually.
The president also setting a 50-day deadline for Russia to agree to a ceasefire or face steep sanctions on trading partners who buy Russian oil and other exports in a move designed to isolate and cripple the Russian economy.
We're going to be doing secondary tariffs if we don't have a deal in 50 days. It's very simple. And they'll be at 100%.
President Trump also endorsing a bipartisan Russian sanctions bill, though he said it may not be necessary. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky thanking President Trump for his support. The shifting posture a major change for a president who's long touted his relationship with Putin and promised to end the war his first day in office.
All talk and then missiles go into Kiev and kill 60 people. It's got to stop.
President Trump now backing words with weapons in a push to change the tide of a grinding war. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Well, thank you very much, Alice, for that report. We now turn our attention to your forecast. We've got some rain out there today, particularly around the Pamlico Sound. Let's take a look at what we've got right now. There is a flash flood warning back west of Raleigh right there. That's the green box you're seeing on your screen. Just a stationary thunderstorm that's going to be hanging around the same area that is leading again to rising water. But here in eastern North Carolina, the rain showers we have are continuing to move from the southwest, or really south-southwest, to the north-northeast. A lot of the action right now, again, around the Pamlico Sound. Let's zoom it in on the north side of the Sound through Hyde County, Dare County, even Terrell County right now, getting in on some of those rain showers. These drops will be spreading across eastern North Carolina gradually through today. Carteret County, again, you guys have been getting wet, particularly down east Carteret County. A few more showers expected here over the next few minutes. You can see those showers just sitting right off the coast there, right off the coast of Emerald Isle and kind of Pelletier area in Carteret County. But again, not everyone seeing rain currently. Everyone should be seeing rain later on today. What we're not seeing is a whole lot of our temperature readings. Having some issues with the ASOS systems, the reporting stations at many of our regional airports. But here's a look at, again, what we've got currently. We're working to, again, solve this issue. It's an outage that, again, kind of goes back to, unfortunately, the Weather Service and the air stations around eastern North Carolina. Anyways, regardless, afternoon planner, we will be getting into the upper 80s, some areas possibly even the low 90s. There will be, again, chance of rain and showers throughout the area today, but those raindrops should start to diminish as we head later and later into the evening. The severe weather threat not present for us. Areas to our north, yeah, I would say from Richmond northward, we again are looking at a decent chance of some severe storms. But for us here in eastern North Carolina, does not look like it's going to be the case. Sea breeze front combined with a dwindling and diminishing cold front will lead to rain showers for eastern North Carolina, but it's certainly not going to be lasting all day long, and it's not going to be strong enough to provide any sort of major wind gusts. Coming up for tomorrow, another round of rain. Looks like another sea breeze front just moving in off the shore. This one, again, because of our very humid atmosphere, will allow for that sea breeze front to really squeeze the atmosphere and wring out some of those rain showers. Thursday is looking quite a bit drier, but we do have our eyes on not only that area of low pressure down in the Gulf, there you see in just on the Gulf Coast of Florida. That is one that's being tracked by the National Hurricane Center. But the other system you're seeing kind of right over Indiana, that low pressure system with that trailing cold front, that is a system that could bring, again, additional showers to eastern North Carolina later in the forecast period, but it is, again, weakening as it approaches the mountains, which will weaken that front even further. So, again, another system where we're not anticipating any sort of severe weather out of that low. However, again, I do quickly want to mention that the disturbance you're seeing down there off the coast of Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and even Florida in the Gulf, that has a 40% chance of tropical development over the next 48 hours. And the next 7 days. Next name up on the list is Dexter. But here's a look at your full 8-day forecast. Again, scattered showers and storms today. Seeing it already. Going to see it kind of hanging around through the second half of the day. Thursday, 94 degrees, and then we're into the mid-90s, 95 degrees on Friday, 94 on Saturday. Saturday will feature a better opportunity for rain showers that will provide a little bit more cooling, but air temperature is not going to be coming down much as we wrap up the end of the weekend and head into the following work week. 94 degrees Sunday, 93 Monday, 94 the following Tuesday. Well, that's all we have time for today's 9 a.m. news and weather update. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, I hope you all have a wonderful Tuesday.
This hour of the WITN First Alert Desk is sponsored by ENC Pirate Radio.